Do y'all recognize that when God is elevating you in life and you are growing, flourishing, there's always some type of force to try to pull you backwards? It's always something or somebody to try to make you go back to the things that God delivered you from. You know, we are human, we're weak in the flesh. When we are going through things, we tend to turn to things to make us feel better. The things might be, sex, drugs, alcohol, anger, any type of addiction that keeps you from being the best version of yourself. But every time you get up there, it's always something to try to bring you down. Now, we are humans. We are made up of 3 parts. We have a body, we have a soul, and we have a spirit. Our body is the physical part of us. The soul is the inner part of us, which consists of our characteristics, our personalities, our mind, and our emotions. The spiritual part is the part that connects us to God. That is the spiritual part. And some people, they walk around in spiritual blindness, or in other words, spiritual death, because either or they haven't given their life to God, because they don't know God, they don't believe in God, or because they are being rebellious towards God, or they are even having something as an idol before God. But God in the Bible says that He is a jealous God. He don't want no one before Him. God must come first in your life. And when we go back to the things that God delivered us from, please know that the body and the spirit is fighting against one another. They are fighting. They are at war, and that's called spiritual warfare. The Bible speaks of it so much. I will speak on it another day. When you get closer to God, it's like you are tempted more than ever before. The temptation intensifies. But guess who is the tempter? That's right, the devil. He is the one that tempts. 1 Peter 5:8, the second part says that the devil prowls around as a lion, seeking whom he may devour. Have you ever seen a lion prowling around? The lion prowls around in the jungle. He is the king of the jungle. The jungle is his territory. He walks around the jungle to find his prey. Well, may I say she, because it is the female lions that does the hunting most of the time. But yeah, the lion prowls around to find their prey, that's weaker than them and caught off guard, so it can devour it, demolish it, tear it to pieces so it can eat it all up. And that's the same thing with us. If we are not walking with God, we are in the devil's territory, and we are more vulnerable towards his attack. That's why the first part of Peter 1 Peter 5:8 tell us to be vigilant, be sober-minded. Vigilant means to be alert. We must be alert, because if we are not alert, we will become an easy target. And if we are not alert and staying close to God, we lose sight of spiritual things, and we open the door for attacks from the devil. That's why we must stand firm, because if we not grounded in God, we cannot stand firm. That's when we open the door for the devil, and we open the door for ourselves to slip back into our old ways that God delivered us from. And what I find is crazy, that it seems like the devil really don't have to go out there to go out. He still goes out there, of course, when you get closer to God, but it's not as hard for him, because I feel like people are just throwing themselves to him. They are doing it unawarely, if that's a word, but yeah, they are doing it unknowingly. They are just throwing themselves to him. And I know some people don't believe in dreams, but yeah, I believe God speaks through dreams and visions. And I had 3 dreams that were very similar. They had similar scenarios, and in each dream, it was the same thing. There were people running towards this gated lion den, They were climbing it and throwing themselves inside of the lion's den to be with the lion. And I feel like that's the same exact thing that's happening today. That's just spiritual form that God showed me. But physically, I feel like a lot of people are walking around in spiritual darkness. They're walking around in the dark without God's guidance. See, if you walk around in the dark, if I turn my light off and it's dark in here, I'm not going to be able to see. I might stumble, I might fall, I might hurt myself, I might hurt somebody else. And that's the same without God's guidance. We are walking around with no spiritual provision. And that's why it's very, very important to put God first in our life, because He is our creator. He is the one that have our purpose in life in His hands. And when we walk in our way, we end up hurting ourselves, others. We get headaches, we get heartaches, we waste time, energy, and then we set ourselves up for failure. And then we go and ask God, why me? Why is this happening to me? No, that's not God. That's you. You decided to walk in your own will, your own way, and you didn't choose God's way. And that's why so much stuff is happening, because of our own lack of knowledge, because we are spiritually blinded, because we don't have the relationship with God, and because we are not following God's path. It is best to walk with God because He knows us. He created us. He loves us. And He have our will in His hand. He have our purpose in His hand. But without God, we are left in a dark. The devil will deceive us, and he will devour us if we don't be cautious. Just like a lion will devour its prey. That's how the devil is, just waiting around to catch somebody off guard. And yes, we are weak because we have a human nature, but with God, we are strong. We are very strong with God because God is our strength. Everybody have a blessed day.